Then comes the full diff extract. Now the full diff extract. What it does is, if you configure that as a full diff extract, it first looks at only the workers who meet the eligibility criteria. So it narrows down the list of workers who meet the eligibility criteria. Then it determines the changes for the return data. First, it narrows it down to only the workers who meet the eligibility criteria. Then it will check those workers to see if there were any changes or not. Makes sense? It narrows down the list of workers, so it is better on performance. By default, full diff extract is the default method in which Workday runs the code connector. Then comes a very, very important combination of 4 dates. Now, it is very important that we understand this, because this is key to understanding our overall change detection method. We have 4 date fields. Let me color code them. 1 is as of entry moment and it works with last successful as of entry moment. Then we have effective date and that works with last successful effective date. These are in combination. They work in combination. So what does these do? What are they used for? So these are together and these are together. So what are these fields? As of entry moment, this parameter checks when you made the change in the system. For example, you are hiring a worker today. You are doing it in the system now. You are running the process, etc. But the effective date of hire is 1st of May, 2022. You are hiring a worker now. The effective date of hire for that worker is a future dated hire. The worker's hire date is 1st of May, 2022. So now my question is, what is the entry moment? Entry moment is now. What is the effective date? 1st of May. Are the 2 dates the same? No, not the same. Again, if we are making an entry now, can we have a worker with a higher effective date of today, higher date of today itself? Let's say I hire someone with an effective date of last week. Why not? Because maybe we already hired the worker, but because of some problem we could not enter the data in the system. Now, we are all available. Now we are entering the data in the system. May happen, may be possible. Again, another example of that with the past effective date of hire would be, let's say, there are some mergers and acquisitions. Or maybe you are just onboarding a new customer onto Workday. The organization has been around for a while. It has its workers for the last 20 to 25 years. But it's just now that they are migrating to Workday as their HCM product. So you have to bring those workers into Workday. So what will be the hire date that you will use for each and every employee that you are loading? Will the hire date be equal to the day Workday goes live? No. What will be the hire date? The end time that they were actually hired, maybe 1995, maybe 2000. Maybe they have been with the organization for a long time, maybe 2011, 2015. We don't know. But most likely it is going to be a past effective date. It is definitely not the 1st of July. Because they are existing workers. You are working with them. So in those cases you have to load the data, you have to hire those workers in the system, and you have to enter the hire date appropriately. You have to match the date that they were actually hired in the existing organization. Otherwise, they will be very upset. Because, let's say, somebody has an experience of 25 years expecting to be given some award, and in the system you hire them with today's effective date. All their 25 years of experience is gone. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want to retain that information as much as possible. So we will be able to hire workers with a past effective date. That is absolutely allowed. So in that case as well, what is the entry moment? Entry moment is now, right, or the moment you are making that entry in the system. But what is the effective date? It is in the past. Correct. So when Workday launches its integration, it will check. Okay, what is the as of entry moment? So till what time should I look for entries? Okay, entries made. Till what time? So you will say okay, as of entry moment is maybe 11 p.m. Pacific 28th of April. 2022. All the entries made till that time. Okay. That will be your as of entry moment. What will be the effective date? So you will give an effective date parameter and it will tell you the end of a date range. So all the changes which are effective till that date. Right. So let's say I have said my effective date is the 28th of April. Entry moment is 28th of April. Effective moment is 28th of April. Now think about that scenario, when I had made an entry on 28th of April with an effective date of hire of 1st of May. Will that worker be considered in this integration run? Will we consider that worker? The effective date is not here yet. Right, the effective date is in the future. So look at the description for the effective date parameter. It says, the effective date launch parameter defines the end of a date range during which the changes became effective. The effective date parameter. It tells you that it is the end of a date range during which changes became effective. Right. So we agreed that if it is a future effective date, it might not be included in the current run. Right, that is what the effective date is all about, but there is a difference between as of entry moment and the effective date. You see the integration extracts for the effective date I'm talking about. The integration extracts. Alright. All changes with effective date on or before this date. Very important parameter, a very important point. All changes with effective dates on or before this date meaning the effective date. Right. Then comes last successful as of entry moment and last successful effective date. So what are these? These are the as of entry moment and the effective date that were used in the previous run of the integration. Why is that important? Because our main objective is to look for data changes. Correct. So last time, what all records were included last time? Do we also want to include it for this run? Probably no, right, because we have already considered and processed that information. So we don't want to do that. So we only want to identify the changes that have happened. So that's why we are going to look at what was the last successful asset entry moment. What was the last time the integration ran between that and the current asset entry moment? What are the changes that have been made that are effective between the last successful effective date and the effective date? Right. That is what we are looking for.